So you can catch me in the battle hub, and every time I fight some people, they say, hey, Arroyo, what can I do better? How did I play and all this stuff? And I'm always willing to give feedback, right? But I don't give a lot of feedback because you don't want to overwhelm somebody with feedback. I'm not like, oh, well, you did a micro step here. Today in this video, I'm going to be showing you several things to look out for within Street Fighter 6 just to help you propel yourself just a little bit more, maybe close out a little bit more rounds. It's mostly just about judgment while in a fighting game. Of course, if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, comment down below, leave a like. It really does help out the video if you leave a like. So, I mean, let's get into it. So, the first thing that I always want to talk about is spacing. And I used to play Luke, right? And I do miss that crouching medium punch 6 framer. But now that I play Ed, the one thing that I know is spacing on Ed is crucial. Because the moment that you charge, you know, these snatchers, the opponent can jump in on you. And if you're not quick enough to react by swaying forward or swaying back depending on the range, you're going to eat the fastest, you know, the fattest jump in of your life. So I mean, we can just make Luke here just do like a jumping heavy punch, right? Boop, right, jumping heavy punch. Oh, whoopsie. Right, charge up, and then boom, jumping heavy punch. And that's a punish counter, right? And that's a punish counter, and we all know how much damage Luke does. So the one tip that I will give you is, depending on your character, you need to understand your spacing. Which means if I'm playing Ed and Luke is roughly around this spacing, it's not too bad for me to charge my aerial snatcher, right? Every now and then. Because then I can get a cool combo like this where I can, you know, then apply more pressure. Very important to understand spacing when it comes to your character. Other characters have better spacing than others, like as if you play Dalsum, right? You want to keep a very strong keep away game using your long range pokes and your fireballs and your teleports to be as annoying as possible, because you want to control the pace of the match, right? You want to be able. There's been several matches where if I'm just back here charging snatcher and doing this, the opponent gives up because their mental capacity of patience has already been cracked. It's already done just by me doing this, going forward, this, going back, right? You control the pace of the match. Now, is it slightly annoying? Sure, but that's the character that I play. Ed is kind of annoying to play against. Characters like Blanca, Honda, right? These Blanca balls, the slides, the Honda headbutts, the butt slams. Your character is your character. You need to play around your strengths while also realizing your weaknesses. And, you know, and understanding that. The other thing is, you need to be able to react to drive rush. Now, I know I'm going to make this and people are going to be like, well, clearly you know that the drive rush is coming because you made the clip of you reacting to drive rush, and also Luke's jumping and then doing drive rush. If Luke is this far away, right? If Luke is this far away, he can't hit me with this. He can't hit me with this. He can't hit me with that. He can't hit me with this. There's nothing he can do. He can throw a fireball, or he can drive rush. Those are the two options Luke has from this distance. Of course, the other options is that he can walk forward, walk back, you know, turtle walk at you, turtle walk back, and then, you know, try to control space. But from this distance, you should be like, okay, he might drive rush. He can jump. He might drive rush. He might jump. He might throw a fireball. You need to then block out everything else. You don't need to worry about stand heavy kick or crouching medium punch from this angle, because you're over here where it's safe. He's over there where he's not safe. And Ed, like I said, has longer range. Now, of course, if the Luke player thinks that you're going to do a medium snatcher, he can then, of course, jump over it. But because you watch this video, you're going to throw out a medium snatcher, and then you're going to wait, and then you're going to throw out an aerial snatcher. And maybe you're going to do like 3 aerial snatchers in a row, really mess him up, and then go for a medium snatcher. Very important to control the pace of the game. Very, 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 very important. You gotta check drive rushes. That's the #1 thing that I see at a lot of maybe, you know, platinum to mid diamond, is they just allow their opponent just to work their way in. Just constantly just work their way in. And it's not good, right? Now, if I know that I'm fighting somebody and they're not checking drive rush, I'm gonna be from this distance. I'm drive rushing all the time on you. I'm drive rushing all the time on you. It's very, very good to check drive rush. And hopefully they do nerf drive rush to where it's a punish counter. You lose entire bar if you get checked. Even then, it's more important to be checking drive rush if that is how the meta shits. But of course, I don't know. The next thing that I always see people do is risk versus reward. So what I mean by this is, let's say we'll have Luke burned out. Right, we'll have Luke burned out. We're not going to burn me out because I'm going to burn myself out, right? So let's say I burn myself out, do a combo, easy combo, level 2. Let's say I didn't have like level 3 already. Pop one of these. Right, I'm burned out. He's burned out. I have no meter. Okay, he should have woke up with level 3. He should have woke up with level 3. He should have woke up with level 3. Hey, it's fine. Okay, let me just do an easier combo. Let me just do an easier combo as I drop the easier combo. Okay, so right there, and then I try to medium. He's gonna wake up with super. Now, is it gonna happen all the time? No, of course not. But if we take a look, boop, 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 bop, bop, bop. Right, and let's even say like I'm blocking. You know, I would be dead. Right, I would be dead. It's the risk versus reward of, you need to pay attention to how much meter your opponent has, how much health you have, and what's the risk versus reward of me going for that meaty. Is me going for that meaty better than me blocking, or could I do something else, right? There's always another option, right? Oh, right, instead of going for the meaty, I just forward jump. Then I punish, you know, then I can, you know, punish throw him, and then, you know, obviously I could probably get level 3 back, or even throw on like my fast level 2, depending on your character, right? Once again, this all depends on your character. I'm just showing stuff with Ed. With other characters, like, you know, with Cammy, you can jump forward, do your level 3 full screen, so on and so forth. You know, JP as well. So it's very important to understand, like, okay, if I'm in the corner, the opponent, like, you know, I land a burnout because he wasn't ready. I do this, bing, bing, bow, 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 bow. Do this. Do bow, 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 bow. Then for some reason I try to go for a fucking meaty, and then now I just lost the game. You know, I did all of that work. I put him in the corner, and all you have to do is just take a breather. After you burn him out, and let's say the combo doesn't kill, like let's say he has like a sliver of health left, just, you need to be ready for him to then go on the offensive, right? Because he's going to have a full stick of, you know, he's going to have a full meter, right? He's going to have full meter, turn this off, and level 3. You didn't kill. You might have spent your level 3. That didn't kill. And now you have nothing, and he has everything. That's when you need to just hunker down, be ready to whiff punish. Most likely he's going to drive rush after you or throw a few fireballs. It doesn't, you know, definitely with Luke Strike, can throw like a couple EX fireballs because that does very good chip damage. But you need to understand that once you're in burnout and the opponent maybe has a level 3 and they have nothing to lose, because if they don't wake up level 3, they just will fucking lose anyway. You need to understand that sometimes the best thing to do in a fighting game is block or to bait out stuff, right? It's not always about pressing a button. It's not always about hitting a standing heavy punch, especially if you're at low health and you know, and you're burned out. You need to try to bait it out as any ways you can. I mean, I don't think now this might be crazy, but once again, depending on your character, I know with Ed, let's say I'm here, with Ed, I can do EXDP to then beat his level 3, which is very sick, right? So which means that if I know that as Ed, I can EX to beat his level 3, maybe I don't burn myself out. I see this, and then I wake up with EXDP, and then I back up. I got a little bit of sliver left, right? So also understand, and this also comes to the meter management, which is the next point, is don't put yourself in burnout right away. You need meter. The only time you should put yourself in a burnout is if you think you're in an advantageous situation. Bars. What does that mean? That means, let's say I have like 100 HP. Luke here is burned out, right? Boop. Land a combo. Land this, right? Land the level 3. While the level 3 is going, I'm building back mirror. I put myself in the burnout. I'm on top of the world. Let's make sure we turn off Rider. Right now, I'm fine being burned out because Luke has to come to me, right? He has to come to me. Either he's gonna jump. Once again, as we talked about from the first step, Luke is now in the corner. He's either gonna jump, walk at me, throw out a projectile, or drive rush. I don't think he's just gonna randomly do level 3. But as Ed, I can control the space a little bit, maybe back up, and just control the space. Throw out some fireballs, because yeah, it'd be like that. But you need to understand how to control space in the corner. I know I'm going through a lot of these examples very quickly, and I'm not like necessarily like harping on them too much. It's because you're supposed to do these examples one by one, right? So watch the video several times. Don't skip the ads every time. And step one, your spacing. How do you know? You need to understand that if I'm here, right, my heavy punch whiffs. But if I'm here, my crouching heavy kick doesn't whiff, right? My crouching heavy kick has more range than my standing heavy punch. So from this distance, I can do crouching heavy kick. But from this distance, I shouldn't be doing standing heavy punch. But if I'm near, right, and this is also very important because you're not always going to be on training mode. But if I'm underneath his first bar of drive gauge, I know that my stand heavy punch is going to connect. And if I'm behind the bar drive gauge, you know, it's gonna whiff, right? Sometimes it hits. I don't fuck. Actually, you know what? Ed's standing heavy punch, maybe not the best example. This shit has a crazy hitbox. But this is very important. This is very important, right? Medium punch, not gonna hit. If I'm a little bit closer, I guess I should use medium punch as an example, right? A little bit closer. You got to understand like when your buns are gonna hit, right? And what buns are gonna hit more reliably. This isn't gonna hit from there, but if I'm underneath the timer, my standing medium kick does hit. It's all about controlling space, controlling neutral, controlling the pace of the game. You want to control the pace of the game. Very, very important. Now, this is not necessarily matchup knowledge stuff. That if you guys like this video, I can make specific matchup knowledge stuff. I already have a video slightly like that. But, you know, it's also about if you're fighting a, you know, let's say you're fighting a Blanca, right? Let's say you're fighting a Blanca. Blanca's a little bit different because Blanca has a very good slide, right? Blanca's slide is very, 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 very good in the fact that it's... how do you do this? There we go. Okay, crouching, my bad. So, you know, from this distance, the slide really gives him some mileage to where obviously his normal buttons don't hit. But the slide does have extra range, meaning that if you're from this distance as Ed, you need to be careful of Blanca's slide, because if you're charging this up and he slides, and let's say you're doing the aerial version, or you're doing a fireball and he slides, you're going to lose a lot of HP. So, once again, you got to play to your character's strengths and weaknesses in a fighting game. It's not always about rushing in the opponent, drive rushing, pressing all these buttons, you know, immediately putting yourself in a burnout, you know, and then Blanca fucking wakes up and just does EXDP, back throws you in the corner, DIs you, and then, you know, now he's controlling the pace of the game. You want to walk down your opponent, understand your spacing, you know, not necessarily always drive rush, right? Like sometimes I'd rather take the 1400. I'd rather take the 1400 damage than go here and, you know, get 2500, but then I lose 3 drive gauge, because then I can use that drive gauge for maybe a bigger combo with a heavy punch starter or a jumping heavy punch starter on a punish counter, because then if I do that, once again, I mean, look at that, 2800, no meter spent. And then now if we spend meter compared to that medium punch, right now we're at 3384 versus, what the hell was this? I'm messing up. Right, 3384 versus 2568. I spent the same amount of meter, but now I did, you know, almost 100 more damage. It's about, you got to whittle down your opponent. Not everything has to be a big boy combo, because eventually he's going to start panicking. When he gets low in HP, he's going to start panicking. And what's he going to do? Right? Let's say you always do heavy punch or medium kick into the flicker, right? Right? Then he might get something like that. But because you got him fucking scared, then you can counter it, and then boom. Now you have that meter to spend on a big boy punish, right? Now you have that meter to do the DI and even extend into a combo. Very, very important. So those are just some tips and tricks. If there's one of them that you want me to elaborate more with a specific character, I can do that. I don't play every character, but I understand every character. I think that's very important when it comes to matchup knowledge. You have to know how Ed plays, but in order to do good against Blanca, you have to know how Blanca plays. You can't just only learn Ed and flowchart against every character, because every character has different punishes, right? one thing that's very important, and this is just a little tidbit, right? Just a little matchup knowledge stuff that even I learn every now and then, which is Marissa has a reversal level 1, meaning let's have her on wake up, do her level 1. Right, you try to immediate, you're gonna get punish countered. However, with Ed, you can actually I'm messing up the timing. You can, if you time it right, you can do a crouching light punch. Now, granted, I think it's because it has a 4-framer, which probably means you could probably do Ed standing light jab and not get hit. But let me try to land that like that. Boom. See? So with a 4-framer, you can bait out Marissa's stuff, and Ed has a 4-frame crouching light punch and a 4-frame standing light jab. Meaning if Marissa only has 1 bar, that I can run up here, hit her with this, and then still land a perfect parry. And let's say Marissa's already burned out, and I can do something like that as well, right? Like, so this is all stuff that, like, you need to understand with your characters. You need to go into training mode and be like, okay, wait, what can I do to beat this level 1? What can I do to beat this level 1? Can I beat this level 1? If this person has this level 1, should I be a little bit more defensive, a little bit more offensive, about controlling the pace and learning your character? But thank you everybody for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Please use these tips if you find them helpful. Comment down below about how you became rank 1 in the world, and I'll probably make a video about you. Hit that subscribe button, hit that comment button, comment down below how much you love me. Hit that like button. Hitting the like button helps so much. So please hit that like button, and I'll see y'all again next time. See ya.